I felt like I had to, forced to almost make this video. What is the difference between volts and hertz? And what does that mean to us as tattoo artists or somebody just learning how to tattoo? Well, I posed this question. So in my tattoo community, as most of you probably already know, I've got a tattoo school online. We've trained now over 150,000 students worldwide. During one of his lives get-togethers, I just posed a question. Who actually understands what the difference between volts and hertz is? And I just asked people, show of hands. Not one person lifted their hand up. They couldn't explain what the difference was. So I thought, fucking hell, I've a massive hole in this course. I need people to understand the difference. So that's what this video is. I want you to understand what the difference is between volts and hertz. So let's just straight away jump in. It's a super easy concept to understand. So we've got volts and hertz. One is the input. So we input volts. Hertz is a measurement of the output. All right, so what does that mean, Ben? Well, let's just say this is your power source. Then we've got a cable, or this would be the battery on your machine. Then we've got the machine pen itself. All right, so if we set the power, the input, to an easy number, let's just say we turn the dial and we had that at 7 volts. So that is supplying 7 volts of power. Let's just say the output, let's say the hertz is 120 hertz, just as an example. So the hertz is the measurement of how many times per second the needle is going in and out, so producing one cycle. So that means the needle has started off inside, gone all the way out, and then all the way back. That is one cycle. So the hertz tells us how many times a second the needle is going in and out. The volts tells us the power being supplied to the machine. So what difference does that actually make to us? Essentially, if you turn the volts up, the hertz goes up as well. That's understandable. But there is a massive difference that you've got to understand. Make a mental note of that or jot it down. Just this little diagram, I think it really helps. But we'll stick with those same numbers as well. Now, I want you to imagine that we're on a push bike, okay? So we've got us little bicycle here and we're pedaling, all right? We're applying the input 7 volts of energy, all right? But we're on flat ground. What happens once we get to the hill? So we're applying 7 volts of energy. Let's just say that that's going 120 hertz. That's the speed. As an example, the speed would be whatever speed, mile per hour, kilometers per hour, that would be relevant to. So we're traveling along. When it gets to the uphill bit, so we're now halfway on the hill, all right? If we still wanted to go 120 hertz in speed, what do you think would happen to the volts? Well, we all know ourselves, don't we? When we start going uphill, it needs more power. So we might have to exert 9 or even 10 volts of energy. The other thing to that is if we maintain the same level of energy when we started to go uphill, so if we did 7 volts of energy, we might then drop to 90 hertz in speed because we've got more resistance. So the volts is the input or how much energy you're exerting while pedaling, whereas the output is hertz. That's the speed, that's the measurement of how fast the needle is going out. So what difference does that make to us as artists? Well, in theory, it makes quite a lot, and I'm going to explain that to you now. Just quickly, if you found it useful and you're interested in drills, simple designs, full tutorials, a step-by-step curriculum, and been surrounded by like-minded people, check out our school community. So as I've just said, if we was running a machine at 7 volts, and that produces, it might not, but just as an example, 120 hertz, we could then pick up a different machine and run it at 7 volts, but that brand produces 100 hertz because it's got a different motor in it. We could then pick up another machine, a really cheap machine as an example, turn that to 7 volts, and that's a really fast running machine. So that one makes it run at 140 hertz. So every machine manufacturer motor would be slightly different. Same input, different output. So there's inconsistency there, isn't there? Also, if we was running So that's regarding different types of machines and motors. But if we was running at 7 volts and we was using a 3-liner, that might produce 120 Hertz. Alright, then we just take that needle out and swap it for a 23 Magnum needle. That's a lot bigger needle. It's going to put more force, like going uphill, onto the motor. So we might still be running at 7 volts, however the needle is slowing down because there's more resistance to the motor. It's a bigger needle, there's more weight there, there's a lot more for it to push in. It might drop then to 100 Hertz. So even though in our head, well, it's running at the same speed, it's not. It's actually going in and out of the skin less times, which therefore means it's slower, even though the input was the exact same. Now let's reverse that, and the better option, in my opinion, because it's a lot more accurate. If you're buying machines that all run on Hertz, you could buy a machine that is 7 volts and it produces 120 Hertz. Alright, this is the one that we're setting, alright, on the machine. We're setting it to 120. The equivalent would be 7 volts. Let's pick up a totally different machine and set that to 120 Hertz. But this time, that's using 8 volts. That doesn't matter to us. We're just setting the Hertz. Let's have another example. Let's say we set it at 120 Hertz and we pick up a different machine. That one might run at 9 volts. Because we're setting the Hertz, that is determining how many times the needle goes in and out. The volts doesn't matter. The machine is always running at the same speed, the part that's actually doing the tattooing. Another example is the different needles. And what it also does is different skin types. I'll explain again. So let's say we're setting the Hertz, so we set it at 120. Okay, we set the Hertz 120. That's 7 volts for this machine. However, if we were setting the volts and we was tattooing and we just got to a bit of skin as we're moving around the body that were just dense, it were a lot thicker. Now you might be familiar with this, especially if you're used to using coils. When you hit like a thicker, tougher part of skin, you can hear the machine change. You can physically hear it. Less obvious with the rotary machines, the pen style machines, but it's still there. It's still putting more pressure on the machine itself, on the motor. If your machine runs in Hertz and you've got the capacity to run it in Hertz, if we set that to 120, the same machine will automatically, constantly be adjusting this. So as you'll get to a rough bit of skin, it might just up the volts to 8 because its only job is to keep that at 120. So it will adjust the power coming in and out to maintain 120 Hertz, so it is 100% consistent. Equally, if you change needles, so you could have a Magnum needle running at 120 Hertz. As you changed it then to a 3-liner, where it needs loads less input, it would drop from, let's say that were a thing, it might drop to 5 volts, because that's all it needs to maintain the 120 Hertz. Because the Hertz is the amount of times that the needle goes in and out, one cycle. So hopefully that clears it all up. Volts is the input, Hertz is the output. The speed of the machine, even though if we set it at 7 volts, will change depending on the needle and depending on how tough the skin is. Even down to the ink that you use. If it's more viscosity and it's thinner, it'll be easier for the machine to push it in, therefore it might run a bit quicker, even though we've never changed the volts. However, if you set it to Hertz, it doesn't matter which machine you pick up, that is determining the actual speed of how many times the needle is doing a cycle. So in theory, the most accurate thing to do, so it is consistent, is always run in Hertz or measure in Hertz, because that will auto adjust the volts in and out to maintain the same number of Hertz. Alright, so hopefully that clarifies it. I couldn't believe it when I asked the question and nobody knew the answer, so I just wanted to clarify it. Hopefully that does, and you feel a bit better now knowing what the difference between volts and Hertz is. So if you ever get asked the question, hopefully after this little demo, you can then explain it to somebody else. As always, I'll see you at the next one.